The Mel Carmine Show begins in just 1 minute. Support the movement. Visit QFS1776.com for exclusive one-of-a-kind merch that makes a powerful statement. Protect your wealth. Cash is trash. Go to carminesgold.com and secure real assets, silver, gold, delivered anywhere in the U.S. Text Mel at 786-704-8817. Looking to acquire XRP? Minimum is $10,000 investment, and there is no limit, even up to $100 million worth. Again, text Mel with full details at 786-704-8817 and allow up to 24 hours for a response. And if by chance you're visiting Cape Canaveral or you are a local, visit stayingalive.com, alive with 2 E's, and recharge your body at the cellular level. The show with your host, Mel Carmine, starts right now. Well, we got them back by popular demand because you know what they bring to the table is much needed. And a lot of people out there understand that there's a new financial system that's coming. And you can't say, I'm going to opt out. It's coming and it's staying and you better learn about it. And if you want to learn about it, you go to the digitalassetssisters.com and they will teach you how to buy it, how to store it. They'll give you all of the education, which is priceless. Look, it's like you're going to school all over again because the world's about to change. And you and I are not in charge. I know a lot of you would love to stay in the old world. That was very comfortable. But sometimes, listen, this is the biggest transfer of wealth. And to go from one transition to another, you're going to have to do some very uncomfortable things. And these ladies have their finger on the pulse. I wanted to start this, but I didn't find the right team. If I had to find you ladies, you would probably have been partners with Mel Carmine. But anyway, welcome to the show, ladies. How are things going? Tell us about your business model. I know you're basically going after people who have the wherewithal. They're busy people. They're entrepreneurs, or they run big companies. They know they got to buy digital assets. You're not going after the guy that's making, $1,000 a week income and barely scraping by. You're going after a bigger cat, if you will. So tell us about your business model and why people need to do this, because if they don't, like I said, I believe you're right, they're going to be left behind. Tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah, no, you're so right. And I love the way you just put it so bluntly because, we over here, we put it bluntly, but we're women, we have a little bit of grace with it. But it truly needs to be that blunt. This is where the world is going. This is how the world is changing. And the truth to the matter is just, if people do not get into this and they don't get in correctly, they're going to be left behind. So I would even dare to say the people that are in the exact correct assets in this new change, but they don't have it set up correctly, they could get left behind too. It's the same thing that happened to people who bought Bitcoin back in 2012. And now where is it at? They don't have it. And they're hidden millionaires, but they don't actually own their assets. They don't have their assets. They can't access them. And that's the same exact thing that's happening now. Is people might be in the right asset, but they're not setting it up properly. And half of building wealth is knowing how to protect it and hold it long term. So you can know how to make money all day long. You can know how to invest all day long. But if you don't know how to keep it safe, if you don't have a plan for 5 to 10 years, even further on into the future, you are jeopardizing your holdings, your investments, your whole nest egg, let's say, if that's what you want to call it. So we really teach people how to steward their capital well, but we also really work with individuals that, like you said, are professionals, they're business owners, they're entrepreneurs, they're high net worth, and we help them get into this investment, understand it, because a lot of people are stuck in the traditional assets. They're stuck in the old system, and they're seeing that things are changing and that maybe their portfolio or their old assets aren't growing to where they want them to go, but they don't know what the answer is or what the solution is. Is it Bitcoin? Is it AI? Is it NVIDIA, right? We see a lot of people getting into NVIDIA, not saying it's bad, but you're at the top of the bubble right now. So we really help people understand and evaluate not only which assets to get into, but where's our world really at and what opportunity is being presented. And so, yes, we help professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, busy people that want to get in, but we also help the very beginners that are even, let's say, have worked really hard their whole life in a job, and they have a 401k, and maybe they have a little bit of gold and silver, maybe they have a little bit of something else invested, but they're sitting on a lot of cash too, or they're sitting on a little bit of cash in just these investments that they've gotten from their job, and they do not feel secure at all for their future. Mm-hmm. And they see other people growing, they see other people passing them on the racetrack, but they don't know how to fix that solution. So we help those individuals as well. And we truly just give them the education from ground zero of what they need and let them understand, like, where is the world right now? Which assets do we need to be in? But then let's also look 5-10 years into the future and make sure you're holding these assets long-term properly. And you can sleep like a baby at night. Mm-hmm. Who wants to be into the right thing and then not be able to sleep at night because they think they're doing it wrong, or they don't have the confidence that they're doing it correctly? So one thing I would say in this realm with crypto, if you're off doing things solo, you're at jeopardy. You need to be around the people that are doing this correctly. You need to be around people like Mel that know what they're doing, and you need to have that group to where you can actually be on the end, because you could be someone that's very vulnerable to even what's going on in the world and some of the ways they knock people out of the game.
Yeah. And I would say, like you said, bridging that traditional gap between traditional investments to now innovative assets and truly where our world is going. I mean, it's at record highs that people are getting into more risk on assets. And it's absurd, with everything that's going on in our world today, mm-hmm. to see how people are truly changing to, okay, I'm not just going to sit in the stock market or sit in gold and silver. I'm going to, take a little bit more risk and put my assets somewhere that really has the potential to grow.
Even though we love gold and silver.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But I will say as well, like, you have to be able to get uncomfortable. And I love how you started it off, Mel, because truly, if you're not willing to get uncomfortable and learn something new, learn something that mm-hmm. maybe is rocking or offending your mind, you're never going to grow to the next level of where you truly are called to be. So I would just really encourage people, get uncomfortable. We just did a YouTube video on that very thing of get uncomfortable, understand what is in you that are limiting beliefs so you can go to the next level, whether that's with money, finances, emotional, your health, which I love that you cover a whole scope of all of that, mm-hmm. even mm-hmm. with what you're doing.
So walk me through the process. I'm a high net worth individual. I make $2.5 million a year. Yes, I got a family I got to feed. I got taxes I got to pay. If you live in that three-dimensional world, I don't do that. I do a religious irrevocable trust. And if you want that, you can go to qfs1776.com. We'll teach you how to do that. But let's get back on track. I'm making $2.5 million a year. I live in a nice, 5,000 square foot house. I got a Mercedes and a BMW, and I got an SUV for the family, and I got a couple of dogs. I got expenses, but I got an extra $500,000 at the end of the year left over after I go on all my vacations and pay all my bills that I want to give to you ladies, because I don't have the time to really learn this, but I want to sort of compress time frames and learn it in a condensed manner. I know that this is the future. I understand this is the future. So walk me through the process. You sign up on an application on the website. You're obviously going to tell me, hey, buy some XRP, buy some ISO tokens. We wear the shirt proudly. But the reality is that, the average person that really is a high net worth individual that understands and is very intelligent and understands the future and sees the future, but doesn't have the time, how can you help condense that time frame so that they can get into the game?
Yeah, that's a great question. And for those individuals, really, as they come to us, obviously they'll go through a qualification system. They'll come through to us and we'll see, okay, where are you sitting? How much capital do you want to invest? Where really are your other assets as well, so we can balance this correctly? A lot of people, think crypto people all they have is crypto. That's it. but like it's a complement to your portfolio. So what I like to say is there's old money, there's current money, and there's new money. So old money, gold and silver, great. We love it. Preserves your wealth, really is insurance for you. And we all know where that's going as well in the next few years and so on. And then current money, like their job or their business or whatever their cash flow is, maybe that's real estate. And then you have the new money, which is like AI, private equity, crypto. And so what we really want to do is we want to, if you're wanting to accelerate your wealth, you're wanting to actually make it grow and expand, not just maybe be linear or preserve it, then this is really where you want to get into these specific assets. So what we do is we go ahead, bring them on. We'll have a few meetings with them, see really where they want to go and what they're really qualified for, because we have a few different options. Not all of them we can fully talk about publicly on here. So if you are a really high net worth individual, you're making over $1 million a year, then you guys can come grab a meeting with us. And we have very, very specific options for that, more advanced options. But if, let's just say you still want to learn, you want to come on, you want to learn, you want to dig into the space and know what you're invested in, as you come on, we'll show you, basically take you from start to finish, understanding what is happening in our monetary system. Because if you don't understand the problem, you will not grasp or understand the importance of the solution.
So and the value that it carries.
Yes, and the value. So we really bring you from what is going on in this world. And what this has actually done is changed a lot of people's other investments as well, because they're like, oh, wait, I don't want my capital being risked in those other areas that maybe aren't going to succeed in the future, that look and have always been told that they're going to succeed. So really, we teach you what's going on. Then we show you, this is exactly what we've done, how we've gained our success. These are the assets that we're in, and we give you our top 3 digital assets, and we don't just give them to you, we teach you the why behind them. And we teach you how you can actually evaluate and see, okay, this is why this is a good asset. This is why it's going to not just be like a meme coin that's going up and then coming back down and gonna not have a long lifetime. We want a long lifespan on our assets. We want something that's going to be truly implemented. So we teach you that. We teach you the reasons why they are. And really what this does is it gives these individuals confidence that they're invested in the right thing. Because we know these high net worth individuals, even other individuals, they have a life. Not everyone wants to be crazy like us, Mel,
Yeah.
You and us. And they want to be able to be with their family. They want to run the business that they love running and love scaling. They want to do these different things, but they don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So we really condense that. We've streamlined everything. So people go through this in 45 days. They get set up. And then we basically customize their safety and security as well. We have a basic level of safety and security that is really bulletproof. And this is not financial advice. And I won't say it's 100% because nothing is, but it's very, very good. None of our clients have lost any capital, any of their assets, never gotten scammed, none of that. So,
and I will say, to add to that really quick, is we have somebody from the NSA that has shown us that what used to work at the NSA, hey, these are certain parameters to work around, which I think is highly valuable. Somebody coming from that side of things, knowing what the government does, to then pull it back and say, this is security that could be highly beneficial. For the community.
He's on our team. So, and then what I would say is probably the most important is we dig deep into why you're actually here. I mean, you can go through this, you can choose not to, but we actually say, where do you want to be in 5-10 years? Because a lot of people are investing in these assets and they're like, oh, I'll just hold and that's it. And they don't know where they want to be in 5 to 10, even plus years. And we're like, there are multiple different strategies you can lay out specifically for you so that you can actually hit those goals. So it's a very simple process, but we look at those goals. We look at where they want to be, how far do they want to be accelerated while their other investments are doing other stuff. And then we work backwards and we put the strategy steps in place in order for them to actually hit those goals. Because what we see is people come in, they try to invest in these assets, right? Maybe they don't have safety and security. We get that set up for them, but then they don't actually understand where this is taking them or where they're going to be. And it's so important because holding and custodying your assets, utilizing these assets is going to be so different 10 years in the future than it is now, especially with the appreciation of the asset.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm an old-fashioned sort of a hodler, if you will. I like to hold, accumulate, buy. My token, my favorite token to focus on, for example, is my wellness center, Staying Alive. I control that token fully, right? We're about to launch a very elaborate a campaign for advertising artificial intelligence, targeting a geographic area specific to our, the customers that we're looking for, et cetera, that like this sort of thing. So I focus on making my money there, and then I just accumulate. I know that there's a lot of people out there talking yield, and it scares the living heebie-jeebies out of me personally, because I don't know if I'm going to wake up one day and somebody says, sorry, Mel, all of your XRP is gone because someone took off with your money and they're hanging out in, Buenos Aires, whatever. So that scares the living daylights out of me. Are you girls comfortable doing that? Are you suggesting your clients get yield on their money, or are you sort of playing it safe like Mel Carmine?
So I think that this is a really interesting topic and great question, because we have a lot of clients as well. Hey, where can I get yield? Where can I gain yield? And they're wanting it right now. Again, we highly focus on generational wealth. So we're not specifically like, oh, we need to get rich quick right now. We need to make a buck right now. It's, do you know the value of your assets? Exactly what you were saying. It scares you because you're like, I know the value of your assets. If you didn't know the value of your assets, you probably would be like,
Precisely.
Give me some yield.
I've accumulated quite the bags. Because I've been in this game for 11 years, going on 12, right? As a matter of fact, my wife, thinking about the number 12, not to get off subject, I'll get right back on track, I promise. Year 2012, when we moved to Costa Rica, okay, you know how much Bitcoin was? It came out in 2009 now, mind you. In 2012, it was 3.5 pennies. Hello. Is anybody home? Okay.
Yeah.
So now, what was I saying? Remind me, please. I lost my
the yield.
Huh? The yield. Okay. I know the worth. I know that when they flip the switch, I know that when the BlackRocks, the Wells Fargos, whoever survives this crazy war that we're in, have to move really all of the money, and all of the money takes a whole new meaning. That meaning is got to be 100 quadrillion or more, because you got artificial intelligence coming in, because you got robots, artificial intelligence. People are going to be displaced, whether you like it or not. I don't care if you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon, a heart surgeon, a whatever, cosmetic surgeon, you're gone. Okay. If you're a real estate agent, a lawyer, a telemarketer, I told this to my wife years ago, artificial intelligence, these people are going to be displaced. When they're displaced, they got to get the universal basic income, which is going to have to travel through the XRP and the XLM and the XC and the ISOs, right? So the big movement of money is going to be potentially even more than $100 quadrillion a year. Right now, we're at about 5.56 quadrillion a year. We're going to blow that number out of the water by a lot. And so when that reality sets in, I understand what my XRP is going to be worth. So I just keep accumulating. I've already accumulated the generational wealth. I just got to wait for the time frames to catch up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's our same perspective on it as well. But what we kind of do that's a little unique in the area is that basically what we need to understand is that this yield is going to be one of the greatest and most solid yields that we're going to see and that we're going to have. So we position people in order to be able to get that yield in the future. Right now, we all know that regulations, the Clarity Act hasn't even passed. We don't want to touch it until there are regulations put in place. And it's not that we're just bowing down to the government, but you have to realize that you shouldn't be doing something that even like the banks or the institutions aren't doing yet with your valuable asset, because they could come back, let's say in 2 years, and be like, oh, you did something that was against regulations. I'm going to confiscate your assets, let's say. So what we do is, I mean, we've been studying the XRP ledger. We've been studying RLUSD. There's actually a way you can actually, if you hold RLUSD, you can stake it and essentially get back 8% APY a year. Some people like to do that because they just like holding RLUSD instead of some capital in their bank, right?
Right.
So we help people do that. That one's a very safe one. We can show people how to do that if they want to. But with our main assets, XRP, no, we're holding that. Now, the thing that we do as well is, what we've seen is there's people in the space, and totally fine. Like, I love people that see the long-term vision. But what we do is we break it down in priorities. So we say, okay, number one priority is holding long-term. How much do you want? This is where we get into goals. How much do you want when it hits this number? Okay, you want 50,000 XRP, you want 100,000 XRP. Okay, then we need to at least accumulate that much. Oh, okay, you want to maybe take some profit as we're going through cycles, through XRP hitting its all-time high all the way back down to where it's at now. Okay, let's take 20% profit. So how much more do you need to buy in order to do that? So we kind of do some of that too. We call it basically like cycle trading. So it's a little bit like swing trading, but we'll actually be able to take some profit off the top, because let's be honest, some people maybe don't have other cash flow coming in, or people just don't like seeing their assets go up and down so much. A lot of our people, they're solid, they're good. No one's ever sold at a loss. Like, they're all fine, and they get excited when it goes back down. But how nice would that be if you could skim a little cream off the top? So, and I think it's just smart too, depending on where you're at. It's not for everyone. Not everyone does it, but we do help people do that, because, you can take advantage of it if you'd like to, because we're still in what I like to call it is a speculative market, a retail market. And we're going to be switching over to a utility-based market where, and sorry if I'm getting a little too far into this, I get excited. But basically, in this speculation market, in this utility market, how these assets are operating, it's off of people buying them. It's off of basically, it's an investment. That's not what these were made for. These aren't investments. Yes, we invest in them, but they're not made for that. They're actually a product, they're a service, they're a commodity, and they're actually made for utility. They're going to have demand based on its utility, based on its value. So as we move over, that's really when the banks, institutions, big players, as we all know, even UBI, like you said, a lot of the systems they're going to need these assets. And so that's going to push the price up, because there's going to be so much demand for it. And it's actually going to be operating off of its utility and value, versus just you and me speculating or saying like, oh, I want to invest in it now, and the fear and greed index controlling the price, right? So that's kind of how I explain it to people.
As sick as it may sound, I just want to build staying alive to, even though we're 80% cheaper than anybody who's in my business. I'm 75, 80% cheaper than everybody, because I got a bigger real estate. I got more chairs. I'm able to offer incredible discounts. But I still, if I ever fill up that room, it's $100,000, $150,000 a week business. That's what I want to do. This way I could take. I don't need $600,000 a month to live on. I'll take 80% of that and buy more XRP. That's where my mentality is, so I'm crazy like that, right? But anyway, while we're on the subject of money, ladies, I gotta do a quick show of this movie. We're coming out with the movie Dear Mr. President, Show Me the Money. Okay, it is a movie about the straw man. We have proof beyond a shadow of a doubt, irrevocable, irrefutable evidence that no one can argue with. And the reality is that you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They take your little finger, they print your feet when you're born, with the birth certificate. They create a twin of you, an all caps name, a corporation, that means you're dead. Okay, it's not really you. and they trade you on everything you sign for: your license, your insurance, your registration, your fishing license, your hunting license, your parking ticket, your speeding ticket, you get divorced, that's another license. You get remarried, that's another license. Everything gets traded, and they make interest on top of interest on top of interest, and you're worth hundreds of millions. And we proved this in the movie. The movie's coming out on May 7th at dearmrpresident.net, dearmrpresident.net, and it's going to come out at 7:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me play the trailer for you guys so you understand how powerful this really is. Okay, let me see here. I got to walk myself through these applications still, even after I've done it a million times. Can you imagine? Here we go.
I know, right? It's
Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see
a black
it.
screen?
Yep.
Perfect. I'm about to tell you a story that is going to absolutely piss off a lot of people in the United States of America. What if everything you've ever known is a lie? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we've been bamboozled in ways that you can't even imagine. From the creator who dared to question everything in Dear Mr. President comes a revelation so explosive it will shatter your perception of reality. This is the biggest scam ever, and your government, it thinks that you are stupid.
And the whole fake system that is set up, it's all fake.
The straw man, the greatest heist in history. Before your first breath, a covert system claimed you a ghostly double made of paper, a financial slave in a world you can't even see.
The straw man. I am not that fucking straw man. That's not me. I am not all cap letters. I am me.
They've used your name as currency, trading your life in a game rigged from the start. Basically, when you're born, they put some little ink underneath your feet, and they give you the all caps name on your social security or social slave number, okay? And that's exactly what you are. That is your bond number. Every document, every signature, every debt is an elaborate illusion. You go get a marriage license, it's a bond. You get divorced, it's a bond. You get a driver's license, it's a bond. You get a fishing license, it's a bond. You get a hunting license, it's a bond. You get a ticket, that ticket gets traded. Driver's license, insurance, all of this nonsense. These are all bonds that are being traded in your name, and they're making billions and trillions of dollars. Once you know the truth, you hold the power to choose. The system will fight back. It will try to silence you, erase you. The choice is yours. It's coming fast. It's definitely coming fast. And I can't wait.
Trailer. That's getting me like pumped up. So
the anticipation is over the top. You see, because if people, this story about the strawman's been around for a long time, right? But if people were not able to understand it, including myself, people try to impress you with big college words. Listen, when you talk to me, keep it low, man. You know, give me real, just regular, ordinary words. Don't try to impress me with how much college you got, all that bullshit, okay? Let's talk real English, right? So that's what I did. When I understood it, I said, oh, I get it. And I said, now I'm going to make the movie that the world is going to understand.
yeah.
And when they understand this movie and people start asking the tough questions, and the cops out there, hopefully they get to watch the movie, the guys that don't know what the hell you're doing out there, because you're part of that scam and you're compartmentalized, okay? You're going to have to ask some very tough questions, and they don't want that. So if you hear that Mel Carmen is looking for sofas to sleep on, you'll know why.
We'll help Mel you out. No.
Yeah, you can get on ours back here.
But anyway, so yeah, it's going to come out on the 7th at 7:17 p.m. We're trying to send the message out to you people. And the reason why this movie is $5.89, that famous number with XRP 589, okay? And then 0.1/17 of a penny. You guys know who you are, 17, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's a huge crowd, about 2.5 billion worldwide, et cetera. So I don't think 2.5 billion people are going to buy the movie. That would be nice. That now would have a lot of money to fight the New World Order. But the next movie that comes out after this, which hopefully this one will fund the next one, will be the movie of Donald Trump meeting with the generals And we have software now. We have artificial intelligence software that we can make a motion picture as if Donald Trump is in the room talking to the generals. My editors are so anxious to show me this software. And I haven't had a
That's
chance.
crazy.
Okay. Him coming down the escalator. We got that footage with the sign that says money exchange. This is like XRP, QAnon, the movie, everything intertwined, telling a story in a very eloquent way, in the proper sequential order, so that people, and now we are talking about what? The arrests. The arrests are coming. You see it all over the internet.
Wow.
What a time to be alive. I mean, that's like, that doesn't even, those words don't even serve it any justice anymore, right? We got to come up with strong words.
To be alive.
Yeah.
It really is.
Right.
So we're looking forward to watching this movie as well. And
Getting into our community
getting
too.
into our community. It's something that, you know, us being young, it's really interesting because I'm like, wow, just how many of the things, like, we're very young, but in this space, and our minds are very aware, and our friends probably think we're crazy. I mean, they do.
Well,
we bring it to them. They're like, oh, what's going on?
Listen, it's okay for them to think you're crazy. This world is not normal, obviously. You got a situation right now where I don't think that you could have a much better leader than Donald Trump at the helm. A lot of people are yelling and screaming that this, Iran war is a mistake. I don't believe it's a mistake. I think they're not part of the new system that's coming, the new financial system, and they have to get in that position. Whether they want to or not, and someone's got to do it. And Donald Trump is the only one who could do this job. Other than this, this is a military precision operation all the way through, and it blows my mind that this has been going on for 100 years, right, or 112 years, and people want it done in 12 minutes. People want this thing to be like, things don't happen like that. Things don't just happen. Things happen justly. The wheels of justice are turning slowly. I don't believe July 4th is going to get here and you'll see Obama in handcuffs. I really believe that. I really believe that for the first time that this is going to go down.
I think that there's a lot happening. And you can feel it. Like, you can feel it in basically, like, in the spirit, you can understand if, like, you're in tune, you can understand, oh, wow, like, this is actually happening. Even for us growing up in this age, I mean, thank God our parents were awake and they understood what was happening. And so we have understood, and that's actually why we were able to get into these assets so early. That's why we were able to steward our money wisely. That's why we're able to understand the straw man and understand actually who we are and what we need to stand for, right? But as we're growing up, I think that as we were growing up and then just seeing where we're at now, I think it's crazy how blessed we've been to be in these assets, be in this time period, because I'm telling you, like, most people do not even see these percentages of what we've seen in a whole lifetime.
Yes.
And it's like, we're sitting here, I'm 24, she's 26, and we're sitting here seeing greater accumulation, greater appreciation than most people see in a lifetime. And then we're sitting here at the precipice of all of this, actually, with the reset, basically. I mean, like you said, it's been happening for a while. People think it's a flip of the switch. People think, oh, it's going to happen one day. But no, this has been happening. And like you said, we're at that over 100-year mark, which is when our monetary system actually flips. Right. And so a lot of this stuff is being exposed.
And I would say too, they're putting the puzzle pieces together. It's not just like everything's happening, but we've seen it time and time again. And this is something we lay out in our program of all the puzzle pieces, that are put in place.
Yeah. And I know that this is wishful thinking, but think about this, ladies, for a second. What if we piss off so many people and this movie, for some reason, it grows massive legs? And now you got 317 million people in America pissed off beyond recognition. And they're yelling and screaming, wanting their money, because we show in the movie that we actually paid a bill. We actually showed you guys a boiled down version of the movie. The movie's 2 hours long, and you can only watch it at dearmrpresident.net, dearmrpresident.net, not .com. And the reason why that is because we know that this movie's not going to go anywhere if we put it on YouTube, just like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we want to waste our time?
Right. Exactly.
So
because they have it.
Imagine that they say, you know what, you're right. You got us. We're going to give you some of that money back. And let's say some of that money back is 30-40% of hundreds of millions of dollars. That's a lot of money. You'd have a lot more money to invest in XRP. You'd have a lot more money to hire the digital asset sisters to manage your stuff or teach you some stuff so that you don't get caught with your pants down in 2028.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is, we love what you're doing because you're onto everything that, people are seeking for truth. They're seeking for, okay, why am I feeling something? Why is this world changing? Why are we seeing things be exposed, but I don't know where to place myself? And so I think the best teacher is always the one that can put it very simply so the average individual can explain it. I think that's what we do with crypto. That's what you're doing with the times at hand right now. And I love that you're putting it into a movie as well, because that's where people will actually start to understand and
be engaged.
We were just talking about this actually on our YouTube too, but this is one of the things that we've known about for probably 2-3 years now, the straw man, this different route that you can take and not be in the system. But we have not capitalized on it because we didn't understand it. And we didn't know if this was something. We're businesswomen. We want to, we're investors. We want to make sure that
we're doing things properly.
We're doing things properly. And 5 years down the road, just like we help our clients, we're not getting our assets taken. So we don't just want
Don't you love that you're so young and you're able to say we're businesswomen? What a better position to be in.
Right. Well, we love it. I think business is a vehicle to put your value in and to give to other people. And so if you know how to run business, then any value that you have in you can transfer it to other people efficiently. And I love that. I think that's the coolest thing because people need this stuff. Right. So that's what we love.
You're not going to need any employees soon. You can hire 3 robots that work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, holidays included. They don't argue on the job. They don't come to work late. There's no mama drama. Nobody's getting anybody pregnant on the job. It's all cool, right? Think about that for a second. You can hire you get 3 robots for $100,000 that don't break down, and they work like mad, and they're 10 times more efficient than one person. It's like 3 robots is equal to 30 people.
Well, actually, we're working on AI right now. We're working with someone specific, and we're working on some AI stuff for our business. And it's like these things people don't understand.
Yeah.
It's filling all of their leaks. It's filling all of their gaps that you don't even know you have, and even adding way more value to clients as well that come on and being able to simplify things for them, get them through the process like this. And so we're working on this right now and already have some things implemented. But what I will say is we have 3 amazing women employees on our team. So we are a women team, except for our data analyst. He's amazing, and we could never tell him no.
You always need men. Men are amazing. Without men, you don't have this planet is,
That's what we always say. I just have to say this because that's what we always say is we love men. We need men. And yes, we're women in business, but we're no, we also are realizing, okay, we have to be in our feminine. There's an importance and a balance on both sides. Even you and Amber, it's I don't know, you guys are just a great team.
Yeah.
And a good example.
Well, we're even, wanting to do a YouTube video on screw feminism because of course, yes, we can make our own money, but we're just wanting
there's
to provide
some things
value.
that you need men for, and there's a lot of things you need men for. It's funny. I was watching a video on, I like to watch shorts a lot of times, and I get caught up like everybody else there for 2 hours scrolling sometimes. Okay. I'm addicted. I like my dopamine hit once in a while. But I will tell you, it was so funny watching this one video about women say, screw men, we don't need men. And then you watch women try to build a house and falling off the ladder and the drill falls out of their hands and they're not coordinated like men are because men are cut out for certain things that women just will never be.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, we
Yes.
need men for that. We need men for their ambition. Their, like, I think they build some of the best businesses too.
Yes.
But you know what I also like, Mel? I like a man holding the door open for me and buying me
Absolutely.
flowers and paying for my dinner, even if I could pay for it. Like,
And
that is chivalry right
what's
there.
wrong with a little bit of masculinity, a little bit of femininity? I mean, I think that's sexy, no?
It is. It
is.
is.
Right?
That's what we say. We're like,
we need it.
You want
we
a
need
strong
that's all
man.
these
You don't want
people
you want a masculine. You want a masculine man next to you. You don't want some soy boy bitch.
No.
You know?
exactly.
That's
Just
what we
smack
talk
those little
about.
guys around.
And let me tell you though,
My man doesn't eat steak. I don't want him. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
in our day and age though, women are very much the opposite of like, no, it's all about women. I can build my own empire and all that.
I love how
So-
this conversation transitioned over from managing crypto over into masculinity, femininity, and I love it.
We're big in that. We're big in that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
We're
something
very
we want
passionate
to
about
also
it.
bring to the space, not specifically the crypto space, but just with what we're doing,
Yeah.
and really help women navigate.
There's
that.
one lady on, I don't know, I follow her. There's one lady on Instagram and she's on all over. She does the shorts and on masculinity, and she's got men figured out so well. Thank you. Whoever you are out there, she's got it down to a science. I'm sure you know who she is. She's blonde. She's sometimes sits in the car and she talks about men. I'm sure you've seen the videos.
I'm pretty sure maybe I have.
Does she talk about dating entrepreneurial men?
She talks about
women?
everything, and she talks about understanding men, and she's got men figured out down to a science. She knows
Well, send
exactly
her
how
over
we
to
tick.
us. That's interesting because I follow this lady that talks about how to date successful, like entrepreneurial men, because it's not easy. Like girls just think, oh, that's going to be easy, but
Yeah,
it's
they
not.
just think that you could get married into money. What do you bring to the table? Like you girls bring something to the table. You got a business that's going to probably thrive. Why? Because the demand is going to be over the top. It's going to be through the roof. Everybody's going to want to know how to get rich because hey, if you don't own XRP and you don't know which wallet to use and you don't have ongoing education and you don't have the right coaches, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And these are the right coaches right there.
Thanks, Mel.
Well, we love it because we love having our people on. We love actually seeing them. Like one of the biggest things we like to say is when people come out of the 45 days and they're like, it's only going to take 45 days. And we're like, yeah, we've streamlined everything. You don't need to go through what we went through.
Yeah.
But what we love is they come out and they're like, I am so confident. Like I have not one worry. And you know how many people we meet, even at meetups, and people that have held XRP for 5 years, they're scared like so much because they think they're going to lose their XRP, but they've accumulated quite a bit. And we're like, okay, we need to get this foundation set. So we love doing that. And then obviously we have a mastermind in the back end. We go way further into a lot of other strategies, but really the foundation is what you need. You can go from there, and just getting that set up 45 days, you know, it's going to just solve your problems like that. Yeah.
One word, priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless. Doesn't matter what it costs, because it doesn't cost anything when you really come down to it, because they're going to teach you where the buttons are, when to press them, how to press them, and why you need this wallet versus this wallet, what the difference is between this wallet and that wallet, what is the difference between cold storage and cold storage with a an exchange versus a firm. Okay, there's differences. There's crypto firms. Okay, like if you want to buy a lot of XRP, you call me at 786. Well, don't call me, text me 786-704-8817. I can get you as much as you want. That's a firm. They have a cold storage wallet solution that I believe is pretty hardcore because never been hacked. It's 3-party verification, 4-party verification. That means 4 people have to go in at the same time in order for the doors to open. Okay.
Yep,
and it's cold storage, right? And I'm looking potentially to maybe doing that instead of doing cold storage on an actual hardware wallet, but not with an exchange. Never with an exchange.
No, never hold your assets on an exchange. And I know you talk about that, Mel, but we really preach that. We're like, do not, unless it's for specific uses. We diversify our custody. We do not believe in holding everything in one place because then you're extremely vulnerable. So we diversify. And then there's custody solutions for different purposes and meanings. Like if you're wanting to be a little more active, okay, the exchange isn't bad. There's some other wallets that you can use for that. But
Yeah.
what you really want to understand is where's your stuff long-term being held. If you're only holding it on one wallet, then that's pretty vulnerable itself as well. You need to understand those different tiers like Mel is talking about. And it's pretty simple, actually, when you start to understand it.
Yeah.
So, and what I like about it is that it's passive as well. It's not like you have to keep coming in and redoing it. It's like you get it set up, you get your foundation solid, you're set, and you're good to go for years.
And they need people like us because we got our fingers on the pulse. We have access to the resources. For example, carminesgold.com. Lady came to me, good friend of mine. She watches my show for the last 5 years, her and her husband. Wonderful people. Hey, can you guys do $500,000? We bought it. We sold her the stuff as if she was going directly to a wholesaler. She was flabbergasted to get $500,000 worth of silver going. It's like getting it directly from home. We're direct to the biggest wholesalers in the world. The same wholesalers that all the other big companies out there without giving them any esquire. CarminesGold.com is connected to the same guys. And we get you some killer prices delivered right to your doorstep. You know?
Exactly. No, and that's what people need. They need that stuff. They want what they want, and they don't want to go through all the hassle. They don't want to pay the insane fees. And so that's where, just getting this basic education, watching Mel all the time, you're going to, like, for us, we watch you because it's like, we want to keep up with what you're doing. You want to ride the coattails. Like, there's people you want to put in front of yourself. And if you want to be at a specific place in life, 5-10 years into the future, you want to ride the coattails of what experts are doing in this realm. You just want to do it.
Exactly.
So speaking of, I just have a quick question for you, Mel.
Sure.
When do you think the next summit is going to be?
We're almost there. It's a good question. We're thinking early September.
Okay.
Yeah, junior summit. We're gonna have another junior summit, controlled, very small, a few speakers, maybe not as many speakers, and give the speakers more time on stage because you remember the speakers didn't want to come off stage.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let me just stay up here.
Yeah, can I get 5 more minutes? And then they would take another 10 minutes on top of the 5 minutes. Like, okay.
Right.
It's like,
well, we wish we were able to be there on Sunday, but we heard that ran till like 11 p.m.
Oh my, 11:30. 107 was on stage till 11:30, and if it wasn't for me to say, "Hey, Juanito, I got some pizza backstage. Let's go," he would have been on stage till 2:30 in the morning, and the last 60 people would have never left. Wow. They would have left when he left.
Yeah,
to drag him off stage.
We had some people texting us that were in our community that were there, and they were like, "Wow, they went so long."
Yeah, did you guys get to meet him?
Yes, I did. I got to meet him.
Isn't he an amazing guy?
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
I didn't get to talk with him much, but I was like, wow, like it was good. Amber was like, you need to meet him before you go. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
And I think he wants to come to the next one in Cape Canaveral. I think he loved our center, staying alive. I think he loved everything. He loved our people. He liked that our people really welcomed him, and he really we're going back and forth. I know that he's going to be calling me any day now and say, hey, let's do it again. Yeah,
that's so good. We had a great time, and I know that our people had a great time that were there. Just getting to connect with speakers, but even people in the audience, like it's just power packed, and you can feel that energy in the room, exactly like you said.
Yes.
And your center is amazing. So we have a few people that we're gonna ship out here.
Oh, awesome.
Actually, like ship them out here to get in those beds. And
yeah. Well, the important thing is, like, if you're coming through Cape Canaveral and you know that staying alive is there and you don't pull over to charge the body, just like you will pull over your Tesla that's been going for 400 miles and you're down on fumes, you need to pull over and charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The body is electric. The body, the entire body, our cellular being, everything about our body is electric, and you need to charge the body in order for it to function properly. I just slept in the system last night. We have a new a bed, another energy bed, a different technology called the energy chamber. 400,000 volts going through your body.
Wow. We're excited to get up there too.
Yeah.
Now, like we've been craving to get up there, so. I mean, we have to do that here at some point and like she said, we're shipping some of our people out here and telling some of our community as well. And I just have to give a shout out to our Mima, our grandma, because she loves you. Every single time we come on your show, she's like, "You're on Mel's show." She's like,
no.
"What?" And so I have to give a special shout out.
Bring her to the next summit, man.
Yes,
yeah, we will.
We will, because we didn't even know she listened to you. So crazy. And then she was like, "You guys are going to be speaking at the event?" And we're like, "What?"
She was so excited and like, "Oh my gosh, he's the best."
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. We haven't really planned it out yet. I'm gonna meet with my team probably this week, next week. When I get back from California, I'm going to Vegas, and then from Vegas, I'm gonna be driving across the desert to go see my mom in California. And then I'm flying out of LAX. But when I get back, I got the big project Tube 1776 that's coming. Tube. We changed the name again. Not YouTube, but Tube. Because my lawyers, they all called me. They said, "You're nuts. You're going to get crushed." Yeah, YouTube made $36.2 billion last year. That's what they made.
That's crazy.
Yeah. How much did they pay you guys?
Well, zero.
Practically zero, like a little crumb. You can't even buy sushi like once a month with what they pay. It's ridiculous. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait until we roll out this mousetrap. This is not a mousetrap. This is a mousetrap that is needed. I know for an absolute fact that the Patriot community is going to come running. The people who are spectators are tired of being unsubscribed. They're tired of commercials. Our website, our social media platform will not have any commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And we figured out a way to make all of the podcasters our partners. And I'm going to tell you right now, when we allow you to know the intricacies of what we put together, I mean, the excitement level on our team right now, and I got programmers waiting to talk to me, and I got, another movie in the works and all kinds of stuff. Off the Richter scale.
Yeah, we're excited. We love what you're doing, Mel.
Yeah, off the
so
Richter scale.
Keep it up. We love being connected.
Well, listen,
with you.
It's just people don't realize that this is America. It was founded on free speech. You can't come to America and just because you open up a company that makes $2 billion a year, and Donald Trump signs an executive order that says you're not allowed to stifle people's free speech, and you're still doing it, which means you're thumbing your nose at the rule of law. Then someone like me is going to take the bull by the balls and say, "Okay, motherfucker, you want to play? Let's go."
Hey, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of guy I am. You push, we're going to push harder. You get in my face, you're within an inch, I'm going to get within 1/10 of a centimeter right underneath your nose. That's who I am as a person, and that's who I am in business too.
Yeah, well, that's what we need. Those are the people we need because, not everyone is like that, but people need someone to lead them to be like, okay, no, we're not going to just put up to this and bow down and just play by only their rules.
We cannot expect Donald Trump to sign an executive order and everybody's going to bow to the executive order. Because he would have to create a police department for each executive order to go and open up the books of YouTube. They don't have that manpower. They don't even have one person that can even organize something that elaborate. You understand? So someone has to take. You can't expect Donald Trump signs an executive order. All of a sudden, the sky opens up and some magical god, some algorithm god, and is going to fix it all for us. No. Someone's going to have to do it, and it might as well be me. I'll take that job.
Right. Well, you're doing a good job at it.
Yeah. Exactly.
DigitalAssetSisters.com. Is there a telephone number for you on the website, or do they contact you via email?
They can contact us via email, but if you do get our free material, you'll also get our number. And you can text us directly on that.
Yeah. Perfect. So that's DigitalAssetSisters.com. And when you go onto the website, wait for a few seconds. There's going to be a pop-up. You can get our free material. That's how people get on and text us directly. And I'll jump on a phone call with you guys. So we'll do that. And we'll see you guys.
YouTube channel, which I would love to see girls do more videos.
Yes.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on getting out of the box and getting more public because we worked with very specific individuals, and now we're like, okay, we need to get out there. People need more of this.
Listen, if in about 3 to 5 months you're on tube1776.com and the cavalry comes and everybody comes and there's a stampede and you girls grow by leaps and bounds, because you will, no one will ever stifle you. You could talk freely as long as you don't have porn videos on your page, as long as you don't talk about, as long as you don't have any death threats to somebody, and no bedtime stories from trans I call them trans testicles, the trans bedtime story bullshit. That's not going to be allowed on. All right. Anything else? If you want to start a Muslim channel, come start a Muslim channel. I don't care. Talk freely, but don't threaten. Don't threaten anybody. No sex.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good.
That's perfect.
And no algorithms that are going to stifle
I think
anybody.
that's what we need, because we need that free speech. Like you said, people will go to where, like, that's what business, that's what a free economy is. Like, you go to where the value is, and that's where the demand comes from. It's not through manipulation or algorithms, like you said. So if anyone does want, and I'll just say this real quick, if anyone does want to contact us directly, feel free to text us. It's 719-675-5962.
Perfect.
Kinley just pull that up for me so that you guys can go to that website, get that pop-up. But if you want to text us directly, it's that number there.
Beautiful. Ladies, thank you for coming. It was fun. I had fun as usual. And we'll do more of these, and we'll have more fun going down the road.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks for
Mel.
having us, Mel.
You're the best.
Thank you.